How do we manage our forests in light of deer overpopulation? My name's Ethan Tapper and I'm a forester, ecologist, best-selling author and content creator from Vermont. It's my honor to get to partner with the Woodlands Partnership of Northwestern Massachusetts for a number of videos about Northwestern Massachusetts forests and the people who care for them. In this video, we visit Pelham Lake Park. Pelham Lake Park is a 1,400-acre park owned by the town of Rowe. In this video, we check out a number of different methods being used to manage forests in light of deer overpopulation, including a slash wall, a 2-acre deer exclosure made out of trees, and more. Without further ado, here's my visit to Pelham Lake Park. What am I doing up here? Where are we?
We're at Pelham Lake Park in Rowe. Pelham Lake Park is around 1,400 acres. It's all about providing access to the community, places where we can care for the forest while educating people and learning from that care.
Let's go check it out.
Okay. So this is a 5-acre harvest. One of the big threats to Pelham Lake Park is really the impact of herbivory, making the forest less diverse, really preventing the next generation of forest from coming in a healthy way.
Deer is a native species, right? But then overpopulated on the landscape as a result of human-caused stuff. The loss of their predators, decreasing winter severity, the fragmentation, suburbanization of the landscape. I think a lot of people don't understand deer herbivory. The eating of like young trees and plants by deer is such a major problem. A bunch of different ways that you can lower the effects of it. You can lower it the most direct way, which is to kill deer. In lieu of that, which is obviously like a socially, culturally complex action, we do a bunch of other things to like manage symptoms. And one of the things we can do is to protect young trees from deer herbivory by tree tubes until they get above deer browse height. We can create these exclosures, 8-foot tall fences around whole areas so that deer can't get in those areas and browse the young trees and plants. This is an idea of what if we created a deer exclosure, something that keeps deer out made of trees. It doesn't actually solve all of the problems of deer overpopulation. It just protects this one area from deer herbivory.
We actually built this so we would have 3 different areas to really study and show to the public the difference and the impacts of herbivory.
This area will give Mass Audubon a side-by-side comparison, really outlining the effects that deer are having locally here.
We're inside the slash wall. Tell us what we're looking at.
I think we're looking at future habitat. It looks pretty extreme right now. I think a lot of people come out into the woods, they see this and they're like, what have you done, right?
Yeah.
But what I see here is this opportunity of the next generation of the forest. When you go to some of these slash walls where they've had more time to establish, this one was just done last winter, you see a forest that looks completely different from the forest outside. And that's what I'm really excited about with this slash wall.
And then there's another treatment, right, which is that you're going to protect trees individually out here.
This is an oak, red oak. We planted a mix of red and white oak in the area and then protected them by tree tubes.
With the slash wall, we're protecting it sort of like in bulk. And then here we're like, keep this individual tree alive.
There's trade-offs to all of these approaches. Planting is really hard to do well.
Planting's hard, expensive, and then you have to maintain them. Inside of the slash wall, you'll have more trees that will be protected. You'll also have like understory plants.
That's right.
That will be protected, whereas here, it's less of an intense approach. Like it feels less intense to be here, but we're just protecting those individual trees. Everything else around those trees is unprotected, and so we'll still have the impacts of deer browse.
Here and Pelham Lake Park, we're really thinking about a suite of practices. And that's actually the whole reason that Mass Audubon's climate forestry program is doing these types of demonstration projects. We'll have places to bring people that are educational sites where there's signage set up and people can see what this looks like so that when the next community is going about trying to convince the community that this will work, they can actually bring people out and see what it looks like.
Right now, it seems like it's this like big wound. And it might be that in 5 years we come out and it's an island of biodiversity.
Yeah.
That's providing all of these habitats for all of these different species, tree species, plant species, animal species, birds, insects that are not represented anywhere else.
I can't tell you like how exciting it is to like walk into like a slash wall area or a fence area a few years after the work has been done and you see species of plants and trees that you don't see anywhere around that area.
Do you guys ever think about how funny it is to get excited about that?
I think about that, yeah.
It's the opposite of everybody. We're just like standing in this area that to most people it looks like a devastation.
Yeah.
And we're like, this looks amazing. This is such an exciting opportunity.
When I started this work, I really started with an ethos that, like, you shouldn't cut any trees, right? I wanted to work outside and I wanted to protect nature and I wanted to figure out how to do that. And then I learned about how the ecosystem actually works and the human relationship with the forest. And now I see the beauty in that.
When we understand more about what's really happening and how these ecosystems really work, then suddenly these actions that we're taking to protect it make total sense. It's about everything, right? It's about community, it's about ecology, it's about education, stewardship, legacy, responsibility.
100%.
All the best stuff in the world. What's not to love?
Exactly.